This is the Electro-Harmonix Pitchfork Plus pedal. It's a polyphonic pitch shifting pedal that allows you to play in virtually any tuning with one guitar without ever even having to touch your tuners. And it's capable of so much more. This little $250 unit is worth its weight in gold. Let me explain. Back in the day, I used to have to bring 6 guitars with me while on tour to play songs from Chimaira's catalog using 3 different tunings: drop C, drop B, and drop A. I'd have a main and a backup for each tuning. But with this little bad boy, I can do it all with one guitar and a couple button pushes. Yeah, I still bring 2 guitars with me because I always believe in having a backup for everything, but obviously 2 guitars is a lot easier to transport than 6. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up the Pitchfork so that whenever you order and receive yours, you'll be able to get it up and running in no time. But first, let's take a quick look at some of the wild things this unit is capable of via a video directly from the Electro-Harmonix channel. I'm really not going to be demonstrating any of this type of stuff because it's just not what I use the pedal for. But I just wanted to show you a few things this pedal is capable of so that you're aware of all the amazing sounds you'll potentially be able to create. I was excited to make this video because 1, I like talking about products that I love. 2, I see a lot of comments from guys wanting to learn more about pitch shifting and transposing tunings. And 3, I personally found the instruction manual to be just absurdly difficult to wrap my head around. But I was eventually able to figure it out and make happen what I wanted to make happen, so I'm happy to share that information with you guys, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, here we go. So when you first fire up your Pitchfork, it's probably going to look like this. But let me just describe my signal chain real quick. I'm going guitar directly into the Pitchfork, and then into a tuner, and I'm going to explain more about that in a second. And then I have a trusty ISP decimator on there, which is a noise gate, which you may need or may not, and then into my amp. I always strongly suggest making the tuner the first thing in your line, directly after your guitar, so that you're always sending your tuner the truest signal possible that's not colored or altered in any way by any effects. So remember that, tuner, first thing in your chain, right after your guitar. But in this case, I have it after the Pitchfork just for an example, so you can see. Hold on, I'm gonna bypass this, so no pitchfork, you can see it. I'm in C right now. And as we make the adjustments, I'm gonna set up a preset so that I'm in drop C right now, and I'm gonna set up a preset where I'm in drop B, so that when I hit the string, you'll be able to see on the tuner that it is B. And then I'm also going to do one additional preset for drop A. Again, those are Chimaira's 3 tunings, drop C, drop B, and drop A. And we primarily play in drop C. That's the majority of our catalog. So that's why it's kind of like our lighthouse. Our guitars that we bring on tour with us are always in drop C, and if we need to play a drop B song, boom, and if we need to play a drop A song, boom. But the guitars always stay in drop C. And you can do this with any tuning you want. If you're in E and you want to drop to D, or you can go up, you can, you saw all the things this thing is capable of. You can do all sorts of octave, harmonies, and everything. But all I'm doing is strictly transposing my tuning as cleanly as possible from drop C to drop B, and then from drop C to drop A. So now back to the pitchfork. When you get yours going, it's probably going to look like this. When you first fire it up, that's going to be on there. And all your dials here are going to be just random. I just put them at noon right now just to get things started. Just to explain these real quick. These knobs are your blend knobs. This is your dry signal, the far left, which is your actual guitar sound. So whatever tuning you're in or whatever you're playing is fed via this dry signal. Then shift 1 is whatever you want the first shift, because this is capable of doing 2 separate shifts. For instance, you can have shift 1 as an octave lower, and then you could have shift 2 as an octave higher. Or you could have shift 2 as a perfect fifth, which P5 stands for. And you could have shift 1 as a higher octave or 2 octaves, or a major fourth or minor third, or whatever you want it to be. So, and then you can blend those accordingly. You want more or less of your dry signal, more or less of the whatever you have shift 1 set up to, let's say an octave lower, and more or less of whatever you want shift 2. So you can blend those in perfectly. Then this is your value knob right here. This is kind of like the control center. You scroll through presets and different modes and stuff like that, and then you push it to select things, or push and hold to save. So those are all things we're gonna be going with. I'm going straight into this input here, not this expression pedal. I'm not going to be using that input at all. And right here, I'm just going from the main output, not the auxiliary output. So direct input, main output. This user button over here, I have no use for. It doesn't matter whether it's on and off in my experiments, unless you set it up for something. I could be wrong about this, but unless you set it up for something, it just does nothing, whether it's on and off. So don't worry about that. And then this is your bypass button. So with this light on here, the pedal is active. It's actively applying whatever effects you have set up within this. If you push this like that and it's not, then it's just your clean signal going through. See. So no pitchfork is active. Now let's say I hit this right now, and this is all just default. I haven't done a thing to it yet. But with it on, it's gonna be a perfect fifth. And that sound we're hearing, a perfect fifth, that's what shift 1 is set up for. We're not gonna use this aux button. Shift 1 corresponds to this knob right here. So shift 1 is set up for a perfect fifth. Shift 2 is set up for also a perfect fifth, it happens to be. So the amount of perfect fifth that we want to have happen, let's see if I crank these. It's gonna be 2 perfect fifths. I bet that harmony will just sound like just the same, but more. Hear that? Back to noon. I don't know, I guess that sounded pretty the same to me. But we're not gonna be doing that. We're not gonna be using this latch button. We're not gonna be using the expression. We're not even gonna be using shift 2. We will be using the preset button. We won't be using the X mod button. We will be using shift. So basically just shift 1 and preset and the bypass are the only things we're gonna use from this section down here, your mode buttons. So to get started, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up my drop B tuning. So that's a half step lower. And as I looked at the manual here, it's got a little reference chart. So if we're looking just at the upper left there, picture that as where it says detune. By the way, you can, if you're in the detune mode, so if I go over here to D right there, you can detune by sense. So as many cents as you want. If you want to get in between like a B and a C, or in between a C and a C sharp, you can dial it in however you want. But we're gonna be going straight half steps. So again, back to this, the D detune. We're not going to be using that preset, but let's just call that the tuning you're in. A minor second, I've learned, is a half step different, either up or down. If there's a negative sign in front of it, like that, that means it's gonna drop by a minor second, which is a half step. If it's like this, no minus sign, that means it's gonna go up by a minor second. It'll raise by a half step. So we're gonna wanna go, for B, we're gonna wanna go to minor second. Back to this, so a minor second is a half step, a major second is a full step. So if you're in E and you go down a major second, you'll be in D. If you went down a minor second, you'd be in D sharp from E. We're dropping from E to D sharp, D, C sharp, C, B, A sharp, A, and so on and so on. And this just goes along there. So this is down a half step, this is down a full step, this is down a step and a half. So for us, we want the minor second for B, and then we need to get down 2 more steps to A. So we're gonna set up a minor second for B and a minor third for A. And pretty easy. The first thing I'm gonna do is drop this dry. This preset button flashes when any changes have been made to the preset. So because I started messing around just by changing this, the preset button is flashing. It's no longer whatever that P5 that we were in there, it's no longer in that, or exactly how that preset is, because even the slightest movement of something causes that to flash, because it's no longer the exact preset. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to this minor second here. I'm gonna turn the dry, first step is to turn the dry knob all the way down, because we don't want any of our dry signal coming through when we're transposing our tuning. We want our dry signal, which is, again, I'm in drop C, so I want my dry signal coming through when I have the pitchfork disengaged. And when it is engaged, we want none of that C coming through, because we want, for our first preset, drop B, we only want the fully transposed pitch coming through. We don't want any C in there. We don't want it to blend with C. We want a perfect B to come through. So no dry signal whatsoever for any of the transposing we'll be doing. Then shift 1 is going to be the shift that we're going to use. We're not going to use shift 2 at all. I'm going to turn shift 2 all the way down. We don't want anything in there whatsoever. But shift 1, we want all of it. Again, to get the perfect transposition. So no dry signal, all transpose signal. Dry all the way down, shift 1 all the way up, as much as it can go, and then shift 2 down, because we're not going to be using it. Now we got those set up. Now I'm going to go to the minor second, which I'm at. That's shift 1 down a minor second for shift 1. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this to my preset 1 slot. So when I have this off and bypassed, it's just drop C. When I go to preset 1, it's going to be drop B. And when I go to preset 2, it's going to be drop A. That's just how I've decided to do it and think about it. So we want the minor second to be on preset 1. So now that I have the minor second set up on shift 1, I'm going to hit preset. I'm at 1 there, and I'm going to overwrite it by just clicking and holding on the value knob here. And as soon as that preset stops flashing, it's saved. Let's give it a try. Right now, it's on because our light is on there. So when I hit my 6th string here, it should show up as a B. Look at that. Now here's C, so I'm turning it off. See, now we're back in C. Hit it. Now we're in B. If I'm on preset 1. It's as easy as that. Let's set up preset 2. So now I'm gonna hit shift 1, because I want our shift 1, which is the only parameter we're using for shifting. I'm gonna do it to a minor third, which is a step and a half down, which will take us from C to A. Now you may think, oh, you're messing with the preset 1 you had, but I'm gonna go now back, I'm gonna hit preset after I set up the minor third, I'm gonna hit preset, I'm gonna go to 2, and I'm gonna click and hold on it until the preset stops flashing. And now we're gonna be in A. Look at that. See, turn it off. I'm can go to preset 1. I just turned over to it and pushed it once. Now 1 is selected, this should be B. Oh, I'm bypassed, I don't have the pedal on. There we are in B. Now we'll go to preset 2, turn to it, click this once, B and A. It sounds good. Here's a couple pro tips. One is that when I first started doing this stuff, I started thinking, it sounds weird. I'm hearing like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not contrast, just something weird, flubby, like it wasn't pure transposed tune. And what was happening is I didn't have my volume of my amp loud enough so that my ears were hearing a blend of the transposed signal through my cabinet or speakers along with the dry signal of this just acoustically. So this is C. If I hit this, I'm gonna hear C and A together. Oops. Oh, just gotta turn my volume on. So we're hearing A through the speakers, but I'm close enough to my guitar acoustically here that I can still hear C. And my brain is like, what the hell's going on? I'm hearing the A and C together. And I just thought that there was some problem or something like that. But once I turned up my amp loud enough to where I couldn't hear my guitar at all, just acoustically, and obviously that'll never be a problem unless you're on a loud stage or in a jam room with guys, you're never gonna hear your electric guitar just acoustically to blend with whatever signal you're transposing. But in this environment, if you're just playing around at home, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna be doing exactly what I'm doing right here, right now, just keep that in mind, that you wanna have the volume of the transposed signal loud enough to where you're not hearing the actual sound from your acoustic guitar because it'll start to mess with you. The other pro tip is that like when I was setting this up, I've done this a couple times, like right now I set up how I wanted it, but for the sake of this video and the example, I had to reset it back to its factory settings. So I did that a few times and practiced setting up my presets that I wanted. In the course of that, I found that sometimes after I'd set it up, it would still sound wobbly, kind of like this. So I needed to make sure that it was all the way. Sometimes I just go like that with it and make sure it's all the way, make sure the dry's all the way down. And even though I didn't really make any change there, because I even moved a knob, this is now flashing, which means that it's telling you that the preset has been changed. But it sounds good, that's clean. So now that I know it's clean, I'm gonna reset it. I'm in preset, I'm on preset 2. All I'm gonna do is click and hold, which saves any changes I've made. And we're good. Let's go to B. Want to go back to C? My normal tunings? I just disengage this. Now the pitchfork's doing nothing. B. Oh, I don't engage it. So it's as easy as that. Quick recap. First thing, dry signal all the way down. Second thing, shift 1 all the way up. Third thing, shift 2 all the way down. Hit shift 1, find whatever it is you want, like the minor second, from C to B, hit preset, go to my preset slot that I want, click and save, boom. Go to the next one I want drop A, so I'm gonna hit shift, do this down to a negative M3, go to preset, go to slot 2, click and hold, done. Disengage, C. Engaged on preset 1, B. Preset 2. Engaged, A. And just like that, you can now go out on stage and play 3 different tunings with 1 guitar. Pretty incredible, amazing technology. Thank you, musical technology wizards, for making this possible for us guys here and not having to lug around so many guitars. So if you're interested in picking up the Pitchfork Plus for yourself, I hope you'll do so by clicking the first link in the description below. It's an affiliate link from Sweetwater, the sponsor of this video, and the best gosh darn gear dealer on the planet. I promise they'll take care of you. And using that link comes at no additional cost or obligation of any type to you. It just lets the folks at Sweetwater know that I sent you, and I appreciate that. If you found this video useful, let me know by hitting that like button, making sure you're subscribed to the channel, and of course, checking out the Pitchfork Plus. Appreciate you watching. I'm Rob Arnold. Thanks for tuning in.